Welcome to Face Islam, the program dealing with the issues facing Muslims everywhere. In this special episode, I want to talk about a word, Tariqa. What is Tariqa? What does that mean? Well, literally translated, it would mean a path or a street. And very often when you're in an Arab country, you'll see the people telling you it's this Tariqa, this street, that street. Also, whenever you, like in Hajj or Umrah, and you got a lot of people and somebody's trying to lead through, or any crowded place, they'll say, Tariq, Tariq, Tariq. It means open the way, open the way, open the way. Let us go through. We want to go through. We want to go through. So Tariqa, the way, the street, the path, makes good sense to the Muslim. And we have a Tariqa and a way, and also called Deen in Islam. Every Muslim knows about the Deen al-Islam. Deen means the way. Tariq is like a street. And there's another word, Sirat. A Sirat is also like a path, a bridge, or, well, not actually bridge, would be more like Jasr. So these all imply something about Islam. And that is that when you come into Islam, you're not just reaching your destiny. In fact, you're opening the door to the destiny and you're going forward on your journey. So the way of Islam is the Deen of Islam. And what you're on is your Tariq or your Sirat. You ask Allah to guide you to the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path. And it's often called the Deen al-Islam, the way of Islam. And sometimes just called the Deen itself. For instance, in the Quran we find Allah saying, Inna Deena Indallahi al-Islam. And that's in chapter 3, verse 19. This means literally that the way with Allah is Islam, surrender, submission to Him in peace. So we understand from this, then, this is our deen. And another word, tariq. Now, there is something called a tariqa. You hear people talk about a tariqa associated with a mystical organization that are made up of Muslims. And you might find that in this you'll find some folks who are doing some strange things that you said, whoa, I don't know, where is that coming from? Well, mysticism is something that's a part of a lot of organized religions today. You'll find mysticism was associated at one time with Christianity. They were called Gnostics, and the word gnosis is related to that, to have some secret knowledge. Also, the Kabbalists, you'll find this is associated with the Jewish religion, and they still have Kabbalism today. And there are others, those that are associated with the mysticism in Hinduism, the fakir or fakirs as they call them. But in Islam, we have one deen, one clear path or tariq, and this is based on something very important, the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran means the speech of Almighty Allah. We've talked about that in many of our programs. The Sunnah is to follow the way of Muhammad. That's his way of doing things. The Deen, as we said, is our way of doing Islam. And the Tariq is to follow Muhammad, the path, the street that he went down. I think you could say that. That's the way I want to go to. His companions were the best examples for us, along with him, to look and see how did they do things in their life, and what was their way, and how did they do everything. Well, once we understand this, then it makes it easier for us when we encounter a problem. We're facing something very difficult. And I think, how can I deal with this? Go back and look to what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did, or his companions did, and you will see the way to solve your problem today. Now, some of the problems that we have today, though, may seem a bit challenging because we don't have enough information about the Sunnah or the way or the Tariq of Muhammad. That's why it's important for you and I to study to find out, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do such and such, or don't do that? Now, in some of the groups that I've visited with and talked with, I found that each one of them has good things in there. The good thing of all the Muslims is they believe in one God, one message, and one final last prophet. Of all the prophets, Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the last one. And we understand that. So this is the way we want to follow. We want to do what he did. So we have to go to those scholars who are knowledgeable in that. It's okay from time to time, you've got a book here, you've got your Quran, you've got some hadith that you want to look up, that's fine. But real knowledge to solve questions, to serious problems, we should go to those who are highly experienced. They've studied the Quran maybe 20 years, memorized it since they were a child, and they know the hadith of the sayings of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And we have some walking libraries of information, and they're able to put it all together to understand how we apply it in our life today. I'll give you a couple examples before we wrap up this episode, but one of them is about microwave oven. When it first came out, some people were saying, well, how does it work? Well, it has these rays that go into the food. And some people said, oh, you don't want to eat that. This could be forbidden. It could be haram. But we find that, no, it just excites. This is the expression they use. These rays excite the structure, the molecular structure of the content that's inside the microwave oven. And they bounce together real quick, and then they get hot, and that's how you heat up your coffee, which I drink a lot of. Now, the point of the story is the microwave oven is not haram, and using it is not haram. And how do we know? Because Muhammad, at his time, he used to use any type of heating that was available to heat up what they had. There was nothing found wrong about that. So again, we don't see anything wrong with it. So this is the way, the Tariq that we follow. We use this as an example to look at his life, what he did, what he didn't do. But when it comes to anything to do with worship, no. We're not going to do it unless we find that he did it. We have to see the example of what he did. Then we follow that Tariq. That's Islam. And this is Face Islam. La, 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 la.